10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
Pioneer. Visionary. Mentor. Trailblazer. Advocate. Influential. Iconic. The Alexandria African American Hall of Fame Committee presents a tribute to Mr. Robert Old Folks Dawkins. In a city rich with history, Robert Dawkins stands as a beacon of dedication and preservation. A proud son of Alexandria and the visionary founder of the Alexandria African American Hall of Fame, Robert has left an indelible mark on the community he cherished. His legacy is one of passion, purpose, and unwavering commitment to honoring the stories that shaped our shared past.
He made us more aware of the history that we have here in the city of Alexandria, especially those younger generations who don't know anything about us. And not necessarily those younger generations, a lot of those older people who have not paid attention to what has gone on in the past. And I think he brought all of that forward to us, to our senses, so that we will know that we all played a very important role here in the city of Alexandria, especially what many of our ancestors have done. Some of us have simply forgotten our history. And with Robert Dawkins, we now know our history better.
And just the building we're in right now, the recreation department. Folks was in the rec for a while, and he completely changed the structure of the whole department, including the elevation of blacks that have been in the department for years that he pushed to get them promoted. He was always about the kids, and he was, in fact, I would say he was very, very sentimental about the kids, and he would get actually upset when things weren't available for them. And he started a lot of programs, youth programs, that even today are running today and even better than when he started them.
Mr. Dawkins was absolutely passionate about preserving African American history in Alexandria. And he was a Renaissance man. He used his filmmaking ability, his interviews, events, exhibits, everything at his disposal to elevate the stories, the history of Black Alexandrians.
So when I first met him, I was like, okay, I'm in trouble, because this man knows what he wants and he ain't gonna let me get away. And so we had a nice conversation. He talked to me about what he was trying to do. And I said, oh, well, you need to do this, this, and this. And he said, okay, let's do it. I was like, I didn't mean I was supposed to do it. I thought I would tell you what you're supposed to do and then you can go off and do it. He said, well, you can do it, right? He said, somebody sent you to me, so they sent you to me because you can do it. So let's get it done.
Robert made a very positive impact, and he was a puzzle to the extent that he took credit for nothing. And that was so important, that he wanted to make sure that people knew about people of color, but he didn't want to be recognized for what his role was in that particular instance.
I was new to Alexandria, and being in my new role as a superintendent, I was quizzed by Mr. Dawkins. My very first meeting with him was so exciting and so interesting at the same time, because the moment I sat down, he began to share the rich history of Alexandria City with me. His goal was to always have an impact for us to remember our history, to make sure that we could shape the future. And on the other occasions, when I did happen to see him, it was about quizzing me to make sure that I did my homework and all the readings and articles that he recommended to me. He truly had a great impact on this great city.
He touched countless lives with his unwavering passion through his Hoop Academy events. From the And One basketball game and the corporate 3-on-3 tournament, to matchups like the Russian youth national team versus Hoop Academy, and the Senegal national team versus the Johnson Seibert All-Stars, and even with the Nike girls basketball camp, Robert Dawkins created opportunities that went far beyond the game. With these events, and so many more, he provided a platform for young student athletes to shine and chase their dreams, inspiring them to reach for greatness.
Mr. Dawkins instilled in a lot of us that we could be a contributor to our community by understanding our history and learning our history and who came before us, and to make sure that as we exit, that someone else coming in our footsteps. The programs that he started go way back to taking kids on field trips to New York, playing basketball games, tennis, track. He did the Hoop Academy. We did basketball games where we had teams coming from around not only the United States, but from out of the country. So I guess he gave us an outlet that wasn't there, that had been taken from us. He gave us the opportunity to strive for bigger and better things in life.
The Hoop Academy events, they were just a great opportunity for guys like myself, like Jason, and other guys from Alexandria to play against some of the top guys from Maryland, from DC. I think we played some international players as well. It was just great that Mr. Dawkins could put us on a platform like that for different coaches could see us. We were on Jones Intercable, so we were playing on TV back then in the 90s. So it was just great opportunity for us all.
I could think of a story. I went to Bowie State and CIAA, the next year they had Earl Lord on the shirt and they had me. That's two Alexandria people coming together with nobody having that idea. So that's the type of lessons he would teach to everybody, just knowing your history and knowing where you came from.
But Robert Dawkins' influence reaches far beyond the basketball court. Through transformative initiatives like computer training classes, SAT prep, speech communications workshops, the book club, game management preparation, college tours, the NCAA First Team Mentoring Program, Radar Scouting Services, and the Hoop Academy Summer with a Purpose, he has tirelessly worked to shape a brighter future for Alexandria's youth. These programs aren't just activities. They are lifelines, empowering young people with the tools and guidance to succeed in every aspect of their lives. Dawkins' relentless dedication goes beyond teaching the game. He was building futures, opening doors, and inspiring the next generation of leaders in our community.
In the second annual corporate challenge, we have a returning champ, which is Maximus. As a result of winning last year, they have two teams in this year's tournament. As a result of last year's tournament, it resulted in us giving 4 scholarships, monetary scholarships. This year's scholarships will go to Ahmad Smith, student at O'Connell High School in Arlington, Virginia, and Barita Willis, who is a student athlete here at T.C. Williams. We were able to acquire additional technical equipment that we use in teaching our kids. Hopefully, this year we'll be able to buy additional equipment as a result of you participating in this program. Again, I would like to thank each and every one of you all for coming out, and good luck to each one of you. Thank you.
Receiving the Hoop Academy scholarship, it was a great opportunity for me. Just knowing Mr. Dawkins, just having an open mindset to have me and Rita in mind to just give us anything. It was big for us going off to college. I mean, we were both on scholarships, but $1 to $100 to $1,000. It was just a big, it's not about the money, it was the thought that counts, and it just showed the character that he was.
I know that he really tried to present opportunities in terms of furthering their education, these young people who some were in athletics, some were tremendous students, or both. I remember one time he asked me to come and speak to the high school girls basketball team at T.C. Williams at that time. And ironically, I ended up coaching the team a few years later, but he just was a conduit to so many people and so many activities. Some, I almost said benign, but they weren't benign because the impact certainly is personalized with whomever.
Well, Mr. Dawkins always instilled in us that if we didn't know where we came from, we didn't know where we was going. He made sure that while I was with him, that I met people that I had seen and heard about on TV. I didn't know he knew so many people. And then he also would take me around with him, so I got to meet people like John Thompson, got to meet Earl Lloyd, who was from here, didn't know that. You know, I knew his brother, but I didn't know Earl Lloyd personally, even though he had visited my home when I was a kid. I just wasn't into adult conversations. Al Addles, I remember meeting him here at Charles Houston with Mr. Dawkins, and Mr. Dawkins used to take me just about everywhere he went. I told him one time I thought I was his private chauffeur because he always called me to take him somewhere, you know. But when I went on those little voyages with him, I got to meet some very interesting people. And he told me that's what it was about, meeting people that you can touch and talk to, but also make sure that you stay humble when you're around these people, because they were just like me. They were just in a different time and place. But him giving me personally, you know, the insight to the world was entirely different for me, because he always said, he asked me what kind of job that I wanted. And I said, well, I don't really know, because I used to joke a lot. So he said, well, maybe you want to join the circus. I said, what am I joining the circus for? He said, because I think you want to be a clown. And I'm like, I don't want to be no clown. He said, well, now you need to straighten up and listen to what I tell you to do. And that's what I did.
His legacy lives on through the events he pioneered, uniting the community in powerful moments like the All-Alexandria Tip-Off Classic, the Johnson-Seibert Basketball League, and the Black History Celebrations. These events honored his vision, bringing people together and keeping his spirit of dedication and unity alive.
He was about community. Like I said, he loved Alexandria, he loved the Black community, and he wants everyone to come together to become knowledgeable, aware of the African American history of Alexandria. I know he used to use the term, you try to make a footprint, and make a footprint so future generations and people alike and the community as a whole can see and benefit from. Well, he actually made a footprint. I know he made one in my life. I know he's made one here within the community, his family's life, everybody I talk to and become in contact with, even businesses, people in the community, other organizations. Everyone's aware of the footprint, the school system. Everyone's aware of the footprint that Mr. Dawkins has laid, and very proud legacy that he's leaving.
As a whole, I think the impact of the events that Mr. Dawkins was responsible for helped to bring community together. He didn't do anything looking to create a legacy, and that's usually when legacies are built, because that means you're doing what you're doing because it's coming from your heart, it's coming from your soul. And so he poured his heart and soul into the work that he did to preserve our community.
I remember specifically the award ceremony, as well as the recognition at T.C. Williams High School, the program for Earl Lloyd that was here at the Charles Houston Recreation Center, as well as also just making sure that people brought attention to some of the people, the coaches and other people. So Mr. Dawkins was very selfless in his effort. He never wanted the fame, he never wanted the glory. He was all about the work, and I agree completely with that. It was not about him. He would much rather stay in the background and see the work get done, see a project through to completion, rather than stepping out in the front, in the limelight. Even for some of the programs that he executed, he didn't even attend some of the programs because it was not about his recognition, it was about the project and getting the work done.
Through the Earl Lloyd statue dedication, the Parker Gray Brick Campaign, Alexandria Oral Histories, the Secret 7 interview, and many other historic initiatives, Robert Dawkins was a tireless steward of African American heritage in Alexandria. His unwavering commitment to preserving the rich legacy of his community ensured that these important stories and contributions will continue to inspire for generations to come.
Actually, he started, I guess you all were, you had a group of his peers that started talking about preserving. I think it started in the library across the street, preserving stuff for that library. And that was, at least 15 years before this time. So he was always involved in the historical aspects. That most of his things ended up with some kind of product like this.
Well, folks, this was early in 2019. I receive a call, as I usually do every morning. We talk about whatever. He said, "You know what next year, 2020 is?" I was like, 2020? I mean, no. That's Parker Gray's 100th year anniversary. Wow. We need to do something. And on the scale that everyone would benefit, the city would benefit, the community be proud of. So beyond that, we launched the brick campaign. We thought, purchase a brick, celebrate the 100th anniversary of Parker Gray's existence. And the bricks went out and we publicized it, we advertised it, we just pushed for it. And everybody within the community, individuals, churches, businesses, everybody was on board. They purchased bricks. Some businesses even purchased bricks from former teachers who taught at Parker Gray who are deceased now, deceased family members. I mean, it was a great, great, great project. It benefited, we got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of bricks that are on the walkway now, and it's very reflective of the whole community, black and white. Just people purchased it, they thought it was a great idea. The city was on board, and we started working with Jim Spengler and Jack Braun, and lo and behold, 2020, we had a dedication the day of the anniversary of Parker Gray, and the mayor even proclaimed September the 10th as Parker Gray Day moving forward. So it was a great project, great program, and it's still ongoing. People still can purchase a brick today if they choose to do so. So it's a great way to pay homage, not only to Parker Gray, but to the city and to yourselves as a whole.
The importance is that remembrance, that as people walk into this building, they will look at those bricks and be able to know that Robert played a part of that, but more importantly, know that these were people who grew up and were part of where we sit today. And I think that it's important that we don't forget our past. And that's I think that was his primary focus, was to make sure that we don't forget our past and that we will continue to progress in terms of our futures.
Yeah, I think the mark that Mr. Dawkins left in the community is one of presence. Oftentimes, communities will flourish and be excellent and amazing, and then one generation removed, they're gone, and nobody knows they were there. And Mr. Dawkins was insightful in that he realized that the Black community does not and should not be forgotten. And so he went through great pains to make sure that not only was the history brought to light, presented to the community that was here, because oftentimes there are people in our own community that don't recognize our excellence and the contributions that African Americans have made to not just this neighborhood or community, but to the region and to the nation, at large. And so he was very good about making sure that history was highlighted, preserved, and then presented. And so now we're in a space where you have the Hall of Fame, you have the Earl Lloyd statue out front, and all of those things were things that he spoke into existence, and we didn't see it, but he said, no, we're gonna do this. And so now the mark is that when you walk by and you see people taking pictures and saying, oh, I didn't know that, and you see little kids staring up at the Earl Lloyd statue, recognizing that their excellence was right here in Alexandria all the time.
As we remember Robert Dawkins, let us carry forward this message. History is not just something to be studied. It is something to be lived and celebrated. Though he is no longer with us, his profound dedication to preserving the rich heritage of Alexandria's African American community continues to resonate. His legacy remains a guiding light, inspiring all of us to honor and celebrate the stories that shape our past and illuminate our future. Thank you, Robert Dawkins, for your relentless devotion to safeguarding the rich heritage of Alexandria's African American community, and for ensuring that its legacy will continue to inspire and thrive for generations to come.